Hold on 1 second, everybody. Hold on. All right. Telling you what's cracking. Ty Richmond, the Dirt, Dank Star, Carlos, Morpheus, Bill D, regular old square guy, James Wilson, DC Irish, my man, Mr. Risky, NPC user, Robert Seymour, Artur, 5805, Fred, JB Abernathy, Anthony Davis. What's up, everybody? What is cracking on this special Sunday Night Live where you guys are going to keep me warm right now because I am freezing my fucking balls off. Freezing in here. I got to tell you, when you live in an old house that has nothing but gas heaters, one of them in a room that it doesn't matter how much it burns, it just still freezing ass cold in there. One in my bedroom. I got a little tiny Walmart space heater about this big that I had to dig out of the closet and put at my feet because there's a crack in the ground and my feet are frozen underneath this desk. Wildcard the Dragon, thank you for that $5. JD, can you talk about the Pennsylvania snow shooting, bro? Like do a video maybe. You know what? I thought about doing a video about that. Excuse me. Until I seen everybody piling up on that one. I felt that it would just be kind of like, you know, the way that YouTube knocks me out of all these algorithms. But yeah, I suppose I can do it. I actually watched that video, and I got to tell you, man, that was pretty vicious. That was pretty fucking vicious. I'll go ahead and turn this screen a little bit so that I don't have to, like, turn my head all the way over. You know, I bought a laptop for this kind of stuff, so I didn't have to do that. And come to find out, the laptop creates a horrible connection where the camera and everything looks like shit. So here we are. All right, let's see what you guys are talking about. Any other questions? Nah, John Toby Sharp, I am not going to apologize to anybody on here anymore. But I really wish that everybody would kind of understand why I did that. It seems I got to keep talking about it because people still ask me about it. Video that's 2 weeks old now. People are still asking me about that apology. And it's like I said, never once am I going to get on here and say that the dude is real. His prison experience is real. I just simply said that I did my part in not being kind of like a person that trolls content creators on YouTube. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Everything else, just not interested in pursuing that dude, man. It never did me any good. Didn't do my channel any good. It didn't do anybody any good. So what's the point? What's my favorite style of barbecue? I don't know. I don't really have a favorite style, but I could tell you that out here in like Oklahoma and Texas, they know how to put on a barbecue. You know? Growing up in Cali, man, the greatest barbecuing experience is throwing some charcoals in a little, what is it, a tripod looking barbecue that you get at like Walmart or Kmart. Throw some charcoals in there and hit with the lighter fluid and bam, that's it. That was about the size of it of a barbecue out there. But these Texas and Oklahoma barbecues, man, are really something impressive. So what'd you guys think of my experience at the Hotel Cecil? If you guys noticed, I called it the Cecil, the Cecil, the Cecil, because every time I seen anybody at all talking about it, they were either calling it the Cecil, the Cecil, or the Cecil, you know? So just got right into basically using every single word imaginable for that one right there. Yeah, it's well, I mean, they fixed it up, and when I watched the documentary, that's what kind of like brought my focus back to it. I'm like, damn, man, I've been in that place. You know, never really gave it a second thought afterwards, but I did notice a lot of creepy ass shit that was happening to me afterwards. And when people that have been there were talking about creepy shit happening to them afterwards, I just kind of snapped. Like, wow, that's probably where all the stroke of bad luck was happening in my life directly after that experience. And just like that, man. It's crazy. Crazy. The Hotel Cecil. Yes. Absolutely. Also, I wanted to tell you guys that for all the people that like to call me Cupcake and Man Boobs, I did a workout video today. It was going to be the video that I was going to play today, and the Cecil video was going to be tomorrow. Unfortunately, when the video was about 85% uploaded to YouTube, my cat decided to jump up onto my tower right here, and the power button's on the top, and her foot always finds that button. Turned the computer on, and it killed the upload, so I had to re-upload it, and it told me it's going to take 2 hours. I'm going to drop it tomorrow around noon so you guys can see what it's like to actually do some snowplow rapid fire burpees in the snow. Unfortunately, I had to cut it short because all I had was latex gloves. And for all of yous out there that live in like Minnesota, Michigan, Montana, Canada, places like that, I'm pretty sure you're well aware that if you're going to use latex gloves to keep your hands warm in the middle of a freezing cold snowstorm, almost to the equivalent of a blizzard, chances are your hands are not going to be very warm. So yeah, did that and was able to get through about 3 sets of the sequence itself. And then that was enough. And I finished my workout in my little home gym that I have down the hall from where I'm sitting right now. So I basically put on display what Big JD does as far as his exercising is concerned. Pretty much all cardio. Pretty much all cardio, and that's it. I'm not really much into the weights. You know, I'm not looking to get like to the point to where I can't wipe my own ass, or to the point to where I can't, you know, scratch my own back or put on a shirt without ripping it off in the front. Not really interested in being like that, but being healthy is a good thing. I like to be trim personally. I mean, I'm not exactly I'm not skin and bones, not fat either. From the time that I was working in culinary and I was working in the restaurant business, I did get a little bit of a gut for a minute there. There's still a little bit of it left, but not really, not that much. I mean, I got about a 35-inch waist. I think the last time I measured is about a 35. So it's not too bad. Definitely don't have man boobs though. But yeah, I showed you a little bit of what I do as far as how to do burpees in the snow. It's not very pleasant, I could tell you from experience, but I do a lot of jump roping, I do a lot of push-ups, mountain climbers and sit-ups and ab wheels and stuff like that. That's the kind of workout I do. I don't really much mess with the weights. I got a bunch of weights here. You know, I got a bunch of pig iron and stuff like that, but not really much into the weights. Never have really been. You know, I like to use them to do like more reps, lightweight, more reps to get the kind of cut up. I've usually grown up in the system. I've always been like cut up, but I've never been like this, you know. To me, it just always seems like people that are trying to get all huge like that have some kind of insecurities and self-esteem issues. I've just always seen it that way, and to each their own, though. To each their own. But to me, you know, I kind of like to wipe my ass. You know what I mean? Not front. You know, not front to back, but actually get the hand back there and get a good wipe going. You know, I don't like. Oh, you can't. You know what I mean? When you're completely fucking on swole, can't imagine that you have a very clean ass when you're like that. Oh, by the way, somebody told me that on the Cecil video that there was some commercial to grow your balls. Has anybody else seen that commercial, growing your balls? Let's see. OG Black, what's up? What's up, Otto? When you gonna get me? Been talking to a lot of homies. Jeremy said, "What's up, OG Black Show?" Oh, you talked to Gremlin, huh? I haven't seen Gremlin in decades. I don't know, Black. You know, like I said, send me an email. Get at me on IG. That's where I usually communicate with everybody. Get at me on IG and we'll get something going. We'll figure it out. Mad Hugh, you're definitely right. It is Valentine's Day, huh? I thought Valentine's Day was yesterday. And a couple people are telling me they got big balls commercials on the Cecil video. I thought that was kind of strange. Frisco Strangler, what's cracking? What is up? What's up, John McHugh? Welcome to the special Sunday Night Live. John Ripner, what's cracking up in here? Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed that Cecil video. The Cecil Hotel. Let's take a look at how it's doing. I'm gonna go look at the analytics of it. Seems every time I drop a video, YouTube will like unsubscribe like 5 to 10 people from my channel every single time. I know these people ain't unsubscribing themselves, but every time without fail, like 5 to 10 people for some reason end up unsubscribed every time I drop a video. I mean, I could literally drop a video showing you in detail on how to cure cancer, and I'll lose like 10 subscribers. And I can't imagine that these people are just, no, I didn't like that video, I'm gonna unsubscribe. You know, I think it has something to do with YouTube. Like I said, you know, if you're on the fringe outside, people, if you're like myself and many of these other channels that are out there that have a difference of opinion than the status quo boob tube brigade that you see on YouTube, that don't seem to ever have a problem with monetization, that don't seem to ever have a problem with losing mass subscribers from the drop of a video, those kind of channels, if you're not on board with that, you're not speaking the language that they're speaking, chances are that you're going to lose subscribers, whether the subscriber wants to unsubscribe or not. They'll just unsubscribe you for them. They'll do it for your own best interest. Not only that, but they won't put you in the algorithm. They'll fight you tooth and claw over monetization. Every single video, it seems, that I drop, I have to challenge the fact that they limit the monetization on these videos every single time, including the Cecil hotel video. I don't know why they limited the monetization on it, but they did. And I fought them on it, and it took a couple hours, and then they basically realized that there was nothing to limit it on. There was nothing that was talked about in there. They were limited because everybody else that I've seen that's out there in the boob tube brigade that's done anything in relation to the Cecil Hotel or Alyssa Lamb or anything to that respect, they didn't get monetization pulled from their videos. So it just goes to show you, these people, I am on their fucking radar for some reason because I don't speak their language, and I never will. I don't deal with the hypocrisy of these people that constantly point fingers at many different people that fall outside the scope of their political beliefs and their worldviews and their social issues. People like myself that will always call them on their hypocrisy and bullshit will always be forever branded as a renegade and somebody that needs to be censored and silenced. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Censored Channel. And I'm sure there's many others out there just like mine. I actually had a bigger channel, and I'm not going to say their name, tell me that I should start seeking sponsors and just not monetize any of my videos. Just seek sponsors to where I just talk about their product for a couple of minutes in the beginning of every video, and they'll pay me for it every time I mention them, every time somebody goes to their place, and then not even deal with the monetization on YouTube at all. I just shut the commercials off so that they don't actually make any money off my channel either. Because they like to make money off of my channel, but they don't like it when I make money off my channel. For some reason. But yeah. But as it is, it's what it is. I haven't been putting any videos on Media Raw lately because for some reason I've been having some issues with that channel. I think somebody tried to flag it. So I haven't been able to upload any. Every time I upload a video to that channel, for some reason, man, it just like, it fails to upload. Anybody have any ideas on why that's happening? Anybody know? Anybody know why that's happening to me on Media Raw on that channel? What's the temperature? Well, let's take a look-see. The temperature right now is currently 3 degrees. It's a snow shower going on. The wind makes it feel like negative 18 degrees. Wait till you see this workout video that I did. It's going to blow you guys' mind. You know what I mean? Straight out there working out in the snow with latex gloves on. I lasted about 7 minutes before I had to like grab everything and leave because my hands fucking just locked. My knees like started to lock. Once my hands locked, my knees were getting ready to start locking. And before I got stuck out there and I wouldn't be able to move, I got the fuck out of that place, man. I was out in the woods doing that shit. Went straight back to my car. Went back to my house. And that was it, man. Fucking, you know, stick your hands under cold water to unthaw them pretty much. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I'm not used to this kind of weather. Like I dealt with it when I was up there in Florence, Colorado, but like I say, we would always run out to the yard to do those extreme snowplow burpees for the first few minutes that the yard was open until it started to reach negative degrees out there, because there's not really a lot of wind up there when it's snowing in up there in the mountains in Colorado. There wasn't like a lot of wind during the snow when it snowed. Few times there was, but we would go out there, we'd hurry up, we'd bust down on them burpees. A lot of us had like gloves that, you know, you can modify and stick socks and various different things in there to kind of keep your hands from getting that freeze. And yeah, but the minute your hands are going down into that snow and it starts soaking into that shit, all bad. Negative 20 Celsius up there in Ottawa. in Canada. So negative 20 degrees Celsius, that's probably like what? Like negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit or something? Man, that's fucking cold. Antonio the Great, yep. Censoring people is definitely un-American. But we don't really live in America anymore. JD, so what do you think of Gina Carano getting booted from The Mandalorian? Why did she get booted from there? I'm going to have to look that one up. I haven't even gotten a chance to watch The Mandalorian yet. People keep telling me about it. I haven't had a chance to check it out. But why did she get kicked off? Orange County currently 57 degrees. Don't rub it in, buddy. Ilmatic Gomez, don't rub it in. Man, that's just breaking my heart. I'd love to move back to Cali, but oh, John McHugh, she got booted for equating cancel culture to Nazis in the Holocaust. Well, that's about right. She has a point. It's funny. You know the weird thing about political ideologies and viewpoints. So John McHugh said she got booted for equating cancel culture to Nazis in the Holocaust. And then Soy Tu Padre put up some anti-Semitic conservative stuff on her IG. Isn't it weird? Like, this is the thing that I talk about, guys. The perception of all of these things. So you have two people, John McHugh and Soy Tu Padre, that are two totally different political viewpoints. And they'll see a story two totally different ways. And that's really how I learned to see that's how I learned to like look at both sides and kind of like get an idea of what makes somebody actually. How can two people look at the same story and see it two totally different ways? It's kind of like everybody looks at a painting, and you learn this in cognitive behavioral therapy. You learn this with the 7 habits of highly effective people. You learn this in emotional intelligence. Is that yeah, John McHugh, you're apolitical. And Soy Tu Padre says that she pissed off the Jews. She said cancel culture equates to brown shirts. Cynthia Graham said that. So see, but like I was saying, like everybody's looking at a painting and everybody sees something different on this painting. All right, NPC user, we'll be here. But yeah, I'm going to have to go look at that, guys. I'm going to have to go check it out. But I'm going to tell you this, right? I'm going to go ahead and just go on record saying that cancel culture and censorship is fascism, people. You guys need to go look at the definition of fascism and Nazism, and you'll see that cancel culture and censorship is fascism. Sorry to say it, but that's what it is. If you are so caught up in what somebody says, and you think that what that somebody says is going to lead to violence, well, then you haven't been paying attention to what's been going on for the last 4 years. What people have been saying. Cory Booker and Joe Biden saying they want to punch Trump in the face. Robert De Niro says he wants to punch him in the face. Madonna said she wanted to blow up the White House. Other people telling Trump supporters to step carefully, step lightly, be on the lookout, all that kind of stuff. you know, if anybody on the opposite direction was to say any of that, they would equate it to insurrection. Frito Bendeo, thank you for the $4.99. I like that name. I like that name. But you see what I'm saying, guys? This is the reason why I'm the way I am when it comes to these things. Because I believe in freedom of speech. Like, it doesn't make me upset when Madonna says she wants to blow up the White House any more than it makes me upset when somebody says to hang Mike Pence. You know, because they're not going to physically hang Mike Pence. Sorry to tell you. You know, they're not going to physically blow up the White House on the opposite end. But these people are exercising their freedom of speech on the left and on the right. But for some reason, a lot of people on one side of the political spectrum will always get mad when the other person exercise their freedom of speech, but yet they don't see nothing wrong with them exercising their freedom of speech, and both of them are basically violent rhetoric, if you think about it. So if both of them got violent rhetoric coming out of their mouth, and somebody uses that as a means to harm somebody, the person who said it's not responsible for what that person acted upon. That person is ultimately responsible themselves, because nobody can make you feel any kind of way. You choose to allow these words to make you feel some kind of way and to react. So if you've chosen to react negatively to what somebody says, then that's on you. That's not on the person that said it. So if Madonna says to blow up the White House, you know, and somebody blows up the White House, should Madonna go to jail for insurrection? You'd have to ask yourself that question. You know what I mean? Should Madonna go to jail for saying that? Should she be charged with insurrection? Me personally, I don't think so. I don't think she should be charged for that. You know what I mean? I don't know, Jocko. Haven't people been burning cop cars and assaulting cops all summer long? So isn't that the same thing? Like I said, two different sides of the spectrum. And then we have my man Jocko Aldridge right here. He has his beliefs and his views. I respect him for him. We don't agree probably most of the time, except when we're talking about cryptocurrencies and stocks and stuff. But I respect him for having his freedom of speech. You know, and I would never be the one to ever want to censor him or block him or anything like that for speaking his mind, because he has that right as a citizen of this country, like we all have that right. Personally, if all these people decide to have an uprising and go beat up cops in the Capitol, or they decide to burn a cop car and storm the police station in Minneapolis, you know, it's not really, you can't really blame one person for that, or you can't blame anybody stirring that shit up, because these people ultimately choose to act on their own accord in doing these things. So I'm a libertarian when it comes to free speech, guys. And it's really hard to convince me that one side is bad and the other side is good. You'll never get me to say that. Personally, I think both sides go to the extreme a little too much. But like I said, everybody has a right to say whatever they want. You also have the ability to either ignore it, not listen to it, or just not allow it to affect you, because nobody can make you feel any kind of way unless you choose to allow them to make you feel that kind of way. You should hear some of the shit that I get told every day, whether it's in emails, whether it's in DMs. I get people saying some of the most despicable, disgusting things imaginable. You know what I do? I just block them. Why? Because I don't feel that I need to hear that. because most of the time it's just a bunch of BS from somebody that doesn't have the fucking testicular fortitude to come knock at my door. So, me knowing this, I don't have to listen to it. Simple as that. Bloodline, what do they tell me? Well, if you've been on enough of these lives, you would already know what they say because they come in here and say it sometimes. Same stuff. Same stuff. Same exact shit. Vincent Hernandez, you're absolutely right about Madonna. But have you guys seen any of the videos? So Jocko says that people that were burning cop cars summer of 20 weren't encouraged by the commander-in-chief. But guess what, Jocko? They were encouraged by members of Congress. They were encouraged by senators. They were encouraged by celebrities and various other seat-sniffing, fist-fucking, blood-drinking, circle-jerking weirdos everywhere in this country. All of those people were inciting these people to go out there and do all that stuff all summer long, but yet none of them had the balls to do it themselves, if you notice that. None of them had the testicles to go out there and do it themselves. But yeah, man, I've seen many a different footage. People talking about storming the Capitol, storming the White House. That was the reason why they located Trump to that bunker for that short period of time, because there was righteously a mob heading towards the White House. But I mean, you got to have some real fucking balls to rush up in that White House. You know, that place is probably one of the most fortified places in the entire capital of Washington, D.C. They got SAM missiles up on the roof. They got fucking all kinds of shit. All kinds of stuff in that White House, man. They got people that are armed to the teeth. Yeah. Jocko says, JD, get real. Regular cops interact with blacks who claim mistreatment. Yeah, but Jocko, let me ask you this. If you are going to fight for justice regarding police brutality and police mistreatment and police shooting unarmed civilians, unarmed young men, mostly black men, brown men, who most of the time probably didn't do anything wrong, why would you want to burn down old Wendell's store in the process? Why would you want to attack Michelangelo's Pizzeria and burn it to the ground because of what some cop did? You know, and when you got a bunch of politicians telling them to go out there and burn the whole city down, to me, that's an insurrection. You don't have to necessarily rush up on the front steps of Congress to be in the middle of a full-fledged revolt. Because I got to tell you this. When the Confederacy seceded the Union, there wasn't a near Confederate soldier that attacked Washington, D.C., right? So they just basically seceded and formed the Confederacy out of all these states. But that was an insurrection. That was a rebellion. So if you got... So, Jocko, let me ask you this. You got Chaz or Chop that's in Seattle. These people basically took over that whole area with guns, put a wall around it, of all things. The irony of that, to put a wall up around it. And basically, like, treated people like garbage inside of that place. Nobody called that an insurrection. Why? Why didn't nobody call that an insurrection? But the same thing, Jocko, like I said, they were anarchists and looters, opportunists, but nobody called them on it. Nobody told them to stop. You know, I didn't see peaceful protesters forming a human barricade around old Wendell and Ethel's store that was getting torched to the ground. Nobody did that. Yeah, the Confederates fired on Fort Sumter. True. But they still didn't attack the White House. They didn't attack the Congress. Bottom line, guys, is this is an argument that'll never be won by any side. But the main thing that I will always do is, like I said, you know, I said it way back when, and if you guys can go back and remember some of my lives, I said this. The only thing that I ever spoke about the whole summer of 2020, you know, in the aftermath of George Floyd, the only thing that I ever said was, why burn down the city? Why don't these people take it to the politicians? Take it straight to their front door. Go to their houses. Go to Washington, D.C., go up into the Senate, go up into the chambers of Congress, demand that your grievances be heard. I said that. You can go back and and if you've been watching this show for some time, you will remember that I said that. I said that's what BLM and all of them should be doing. Because you could peacefully protest in the streets, but there's always going to be chaos in the middle of all of it. Just like there was in like Ferguson and other places like that, in Baltimore, in Los Angeles after Rodney King. You're going to always have looters. You're always going to have people. I mean, look what happened with Hurricane Katrina. I mean, the same shit. It's just the way human beings are. You can't really say that it's like this group of people or that group of people, because people will look for an opportunity. In the middle of chaos, every single time, people are going to look for an opportunity to come up on some free shit. So, way it is, man. You know, so what I said, though, is that these people that were doing it peacefully, the people that were trying to get change, what they needed to do is they needed to take it straight to the Congress. Simple as that. Now, when all of these QAnon people and people on the right actually storm the Congress, it's kind of like that's basically the only way that you can get these people's attention is by doing that. That's the only way that you can get their attention. And as you saw all summer long, our elected officials didn't do shit, didn't say nothing about what happened all summer long. But the minute somebody brought it to their front door, oh my God, this is an insurrection. It's a rebellion. It's an uprising. Because now it was being delivered straight to their front door. And I'm not saying it was right. I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm saying that when you have a country that is this polarized, when this is this divided, eventually the people are going to turn to the puppet masters, the chess players, and they're going to demand some answers for what the fuck's going on around here. It's as simple as that, you know? And the funny thing about what happened on January the 6th, guys, is none of these people had firearms. You know, they like to say, oh, yeah, they did. They had firearms. They had bombs. They had this. They had that. I don't believe any of that bullshit. Because we all know what happened. We have eyes. We can see that the cops, the Capitol Police, opened the gates. Come on, everybody, come on in here. Come on. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? And I'm telling you, look, a lot of the cops that are the Capitol Police that I saw that were doing that, they weren't white men, some of them. So why did they do this? You have to ask yourself that question. Why did they do that? Why did they lead those people to the front door of that place? That's what you should really be asking. It's crazy. But we are at this point in our life that we need to understand what's going on and stop with the rhetoric. But now we have a government that wants to turn the CIA, the FBI into the KGB. That's what they want to do, guys. The Capitol rioters were infiltrated by Antifa. Now, I don't believe that for a second, soy tu padre. I do not believe that that was Antifa. Okay? Sorry, but no. It wasn't. It wasn't Antifa that did that. But what I do believe is I believe that a bunch of people just followed the lead. I believe one person kicked it off. One person, reacted, and the rest followed suit. It's just, that's what happens in a prison riot. You guys ever seen a prison riot? Have you ever been in a prison riot? I have. And it always starts with one guy. And it just fucking spreads. One punch is thrown to start that riot. And that's it. It's not 20 people punching at once. Sometimes everybody will group up and rush each other. But usually it starts over one fight. And it turns into a riot from there. But that's what it is. That's what it is in a nutshell. But anyways, I'm not going to stay on here too long, guys. You know, I guess we just can't avoid social issues and politics on this channel no matter what we do. Virtuous LA Spartan, thank you very much. Appreciate that. John Doe, Ray, me fall. Maybe not Antifa, but definitely agent provocateurs from both sides were all over the place. Yeah, that I could see. Because that actually happens on both sides of the spectrum, guys. Believe that there were right-wingers somewhere. I don't really like to call them left or right-wingers because the funny thing about labeling both of these sides in such a way is kind of like counterproductive to anybody that's actually like legitimately on the right and legitimately on the left that's, pushing some kind of agenda. These people that go to the extreme or extremists for one side or the other, they're always usually like a fringe group on the outside. Whether they get direct support from the elected officials that they support or not really doesn't matter because there's always going to be an extreme force on one side or the other every time. But you could safely say that both people on the left and the right will infiltrate both sides and stir up shit on both sides. And you may not even know that they're even there. But fuck, I'm pretty sure it happens. It's really the game of sabotage. Sabotage has been a game since the dawn of time. It's the way it is. People got to really understand the bigger picture of life itself, that you're going to have people that will infiltrate both sides just to stir up shit. What's up, Maxine? What are you doing? All right, Cali Kush, I'll see you. I'm also out too, guys. I said I just want to come on for a few minutes. It's actually pretty cold in this office. I'm going to go sit next to my heater in the only room that's warm, which is my bedroom. I'm going to sit in there with my laptop, and I'm just going to watch some freaking Netflix, I guess, or Hulu or Amazon Prime or whatever. Vote for Pedro. We should have. All right, Sergeant Blackrock, I appreciate that. You stay good too as well. My name is Nate. Later, JD. He says, "Love you guys to death. I will see you guys in the next one next Friday. Be on the lookout tomorrow around noon. You're going to see the federal prison snow workout. That video is let me take a look. 63% of the way done. Like I said, this cat, man. But yeah, I'm out, guys. Love you guys to death. Go check out my video on my night at the Hotel Cecil, and enjoy that. It's a Captain Spaghetti special. So it's a tweaker story and it's a tweaker Captain Spaghetti mixed with the Hotel Cecil all in one. It's funny. Love you. You guys take care. And I'm out.